everyone, thank you for tuning in to Wine and Design. I have a new channel that is going to basically showcase my projects that I do, and hopefully some of you out there will be inspired to do the work yourself. It's a lot cheaper. Alright, so Wine and Design, because I always pair a wine with whatever I'm doing. Not necessarily design, but sometimes it is. I'll be designing my dining room here later on this week, so you be a part of that too. But today our project is to caulk the trim in my newly painted foyer. So the reason I caulk the trim is because it's not quite flush to the wall, so it's kind of gappy here and there. So what caulk does is it provides a nice finish and a clean line. Okay, so to get started, the things you need: wine. Today's pairing is Ménage à Trois Midnight. It is a dark red blend, and I haven't tried it yet. I've uncorked it because we're going to try it together. So let's do that right now. Sippy cup. That is really good. I'm surprised because it's dark. I'm more of a semi-sweet, and that is a little bit more dry, but still sweet. So I would recommend trying that. Okay? Alright, so what you want to do when you are getting ready to caulk your trim, you want to pick out a caulk that is specifically for trim. It should say around the top, trim, molding, doors, siding, that kind of thing. I'm using white because my trim is white and I want it to look like a good clean finish. Oh, pardon the boots, by the way, my feet were freezing on this tile. It's 11 degrees outside, so. Anyway, I've got my caulk. I also have a caulking tool. What this does is it spreads the bead of caulk out and lays it down nice and smooth without having to use your finger. I don't recommend using your fingers simply because it is a chemical, and anytime you can keep that away from your skin, fully recommend it. So have some wet paper towels on hand for any excess that you might run into. All right, and then I also have knee pads. You can also use, believe it or not, a garden cushion. These are actually construction type grade, so they're very, very soft and cushy. So I use them because I'm going to be on my knees today doing the caulk, and hopefully prevent some knee injury. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I have my caulk. There's this handy dandy little hole right here in the handle of my caulk gun, and it snips the tip off. So what you want to do is put it in an angle, and you don't want too much of a hole on the end because you want a small bead to come out since we're working with a small area. So just snip a little bit of the tip off at an angle, and you have a nice little hole. Okay, so go ahead and load it into the gun, and if you squeeze the trigger, you're already at the end. All right, so to get going, I've got my paper towel, okay, and we're going to just go along the edge here, and we're going to give it a couple squeezes. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to poke the hole in it. So it also has a handy dandy little hole poker. So you have to stick it on the end here. Oh, turns out I didn't even, or did I, poke a big enough hole in it? Oh, there we go. Okay, now, maybe I should have laid off the wine before I got started, huh? So I have my caulk gun, and I've already snipped the tip off at an angle, and it's a small hole, so we're not laying down a large bead. And the key to this is continuous motion without stopping. So you lay it up here on the corner, and you're just going to keep on going, and the whole time you're pushing the trigger, and you've got a nice bead. We're going to take the tool, and we're just going to lightly run it across the top here, get some excess off, run it again, A little bit of pressure pushes it down in the seam, especially the bigger the gap, the more you want to push down into the seam so it seals it off. And we have a pretty clean line here. And best of all, no gap. So take your towel here and wipe off the excess from the board. And tidy up here. There we go. Now, finished product. See? Clean line, no gap. Alright, so when doing this, you want to be sure to keep the end of your nozzle clean. So wipe off any excess that comes out. And you also want to be sure to do the crevice along the corners. I've already done this one, so because you want everything to be sealed up, no gaps. And like I said, pretty easy project. All right. Thanks for joining me, everyone. It's been great showing you the tips and tools that I use to do my home projects, and of course to share a new wine. So cheers. See you next time.